Thank you for joining me today with my guest, Mike Fuhrmann. Do you want to know how amazing people connect? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie.
Thanks for connecting. And if you like what you hear, please share.
Special thank you to our sponsors of Marketing with Russ, Networking for Students by D. Scott Smith, Country Vitamins, and the Oaks at Lebanon in Lebanon, Oregon.
Networking for Students, now available on Amazon, dscottsmith.com/students. Order a copy for your student or the graduate in your life.
For more information on Country Vitamins in Corvallis, Oregon, and their vitamins and supplements, go to countryvitamins.com. And finally, for more information on the Oaks at Lebanon Retirement and Assisted Living, call 541-258-7777. Ta-da! Hey everybody, welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. Russ here and ready to roll. I'm telling you, it's Monday, and you know, if you watch me on my Monday live streams, that I love Mondays. That's right. It's the beginning of a new week. In fact, I just did a segment on YouTube and wrote about the freshness and wonder of a start of a new week, of a new day. There's so many great things, opportunities, possibilities ahead. We don't even know what's around the corner. There's going to be so many great things, right? Sure, there might be some bumps along the road. I get that. Some of us are going through circumstances. Trust me, I am I completely understand that because I have gone through my share of bumps and bruises, still going through some exactly. But you know what? There's so many good things that outweigh that. There's so much more positive. If you look for what's good, you'll find it. You definitely find what you look for. And so today I want to encourage you to do that. Look for the good stuff. Look for the positive things in life. Start with a positive mindset and a good perspective on life. I always say life happens and then you choose. So no matter what's happening to you, no matter what your circumstances are, remember, you are not defined by your circumstances. You get to choose your life. After that stuff hits you and life happens, you get to choose where you go from there. So choose positive. That's my encouragement for you today. And I'm just so glad that you've joined us. I love Marketing with Russ every Monday morning. Love my Monday morning live streams. And you know what? We're going to be talking about some great things. But what is this show all about? Well, it's all about how amazing people connect. And Mike that I have on today is no stranger to a connection and community and doing great things in his life. And so we're going to talk about that more today and all that he's got going. But you know what? I am so blessed with so many amazing friends, amazing connections that bless me with time on this show. And so today I want to encourage you to connect with people around you, build community. And of course, I love to connect, right? So go to RussHedge.com. If you know my name, it's simple. RussHedge.com. I'm a simple-minded guy, so I keep it simple for you. So go to RussHedge.com today and connect with me. I would love to do that. In fact, again this year, my goal is to connect with at least 1,000 new people, and I knocked that out of the park the last 2 years. working to do that again this year. And I would love for you to be one of those 1,000 people. So connect with me today. You can just go to russedge.com/connect or russedge.com, and there's a connect button right there to click and just connect with me, schedule time on my calendar, or you can connect with me through any of the social medias, my phone, my email, whatever works for you. Also, would love for you to subscribe on YouTube. You know, we are building our YouTube community. And as we do, there's more and more amazing things on there, more and more amazing shows, more people that are coming together and connecting, even through the YouTube page itself. Because, you know, through the comments and all the things we do live streaming, you're able to connect with other people, not just with me. So, love for you to subscribe. All you do is go to marketingwithruss.live. So, if you know the name of this show, you can get to my YouTube page. It's easy. Marketingwithruss.live will take you directly to my YouTube page. In fact, why don't you just click open another window right now, type in marketingwithruss.live and subscribe today. What does that get you, you ask? Well, let me tell you, amazing, amazing people like Mike Fuhrmann today. If I can say the right, speak correctly, Mike Fuhrmann today. There you go. I got it out. I knew I could. He is amazing. And you can see all of his information today from the show and other people just like him, right? Because after you've watched this, you might think, I want to go back. I missed something that Mike said. I want to check that out again. There you go. Go back, check that out, and you can watch it on YouTube and all the other amazing people. So go to marketingwithruss.live, subscribe. Please do that today. And also don't forget to share this out and tag your friends. Tag your friends. Let them know, hey, it's coming on. I know that some of the hounds are watching. So hounds, reach out and connect with other hounds and tell them, come on down. And so appreciate everybody tuning in today. That is so, so great. Also, want to remind you, you can get my books, all of them simply and easily at russedge.com, or you go to Amazon. Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose, my first book, and the companion workbook. Great way to encourage you in your daily walk, being intentional, purpose-driven, and just building a positive mindset and perspective for your life, all in that book. Also, my collaborative books that I've written, the last two, Perspectives on Cancer, Volume 2, was blessed to do that. International bestsellers, #1 on Amazon, and also Beyond Boundaries. Again, a huge international bestseller, #1 on Amazon in multiple categories. Going to be currently available in some states in Barnes & Noble too, as well, in the store. So that's exciting. So anyway, love for you to check those out. Okay, last thing we're going to do here is our marketing tip of the day. Do this every time we have an episode of Marketing with Russ. A little meat, but I give you a simple truth as well. So this will be cut out and also shared on social media separately. So you can share this all by itself with friends. And I encourage you to do that. So here we go. Are you ready? Okay. This is your marketing tip of the day. Be present. What does that mean? Be present. Be present in what is going on in your life. Ask questions and listen. So if you're trying to market or sell a product or a service, the best thing to do is ask questions of your clients, your ideal clients. Find out what they really want, what they really need, and you listen to that. Be present. Don't just be all about yourself. Don't listen to answer, listen to understand. That is so, so important. You want to show people that you care. I tell you all the time, John Maxwell says, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, right? You got to show them you care. You show them by being present, by listening, by understanding, actively listening, right? Show them you're listening. And I tell you, that is so important today. When you're present in the situation, people will be drawn to you. Your authenticity will be for all to see. And you need to make sure today and be intentional about that. So be present, ask questions and listen. And that is your marketing tip of the day. All right. So we got that done. And we do that every week. Again, that'll get cut out. And we do 2 of those a week, actually, on Monday and Thursday, both shows. Remember, we're here at 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time every Monday and Thursday on Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. Love for you to join us again this coming Thursday. But now it's time to get our guest in the show. Mr. Mike Fuhrmann is here, and we're excited to chat. Hey, Mike.
Hey, good morning. Good morning to you. I must say, what kind of amazing energy you have on a Monday morning. I mean, I hope that everybody who is listening to that just absorbs all that energy and is awake now. So this is awesome.
Well, thank you. You know what? I tell you, God blessed me with great morning energy. I'm like everybody else. I have my times of day where I'm not as energetic as others, but I am definitely a morning person, and I definitely am a high energy person. So, Mike, I am so glad that you're here, and I'm just thankful today. And I want to talk all about you and the amazing things you're doing. But let's start off with, who is Mike Fuhrmann and what are you up to?
Yeah, that's a good question. My name is Mike. I'm 47 years old, living in Switzerland. So for me, it's already late afternoon today. So almost 10 after 5. I live here with my wife and my 2 kids, almost teenagers or almost adults even. So, but let's say I spent the last 2 decades mainly in branding and marketing and for corporates, but also last year then I decided to go out of that environment and just start my own venture, because I think, similar like what you said, you make the decisions. It's always better to be responsible for your own decisions and just let other people make decisions above you, and be grateful what the day brings. And you even said life happens, and I even have it here on my arm. It says life happens for you, be grateful. So it just resonated quite well with you, with me this morning when you said that, because this is exactly what I try to do since I left the corporate world, and just help others with coaching on one hand. On the other side, also wrote a book, but even helped my wife to write a book about her story, and then having my own venture where I really help people to acknowledge who they truly are. So it's all about authenticity, and I use my filmmaker background in order to create amazing video portraits that stay forever, and help you to keep your loved ones as authentic as they are in your universe, or even if they're not here anymore. So that's what I'm doing, and and I love to be on the show. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Well, I want to tell you first off that it is amazing what you just said. It tapped into a great quote that I love, and that is because you said so much in there that was good. I mean, there was several mic drops, but the one part that really caught me first was life happens for you. And I love, that's a Ed Milet and a Tony Robbins quote. I can't remember who said it first, but life happens for you, not to you. And so that is so important to know. And obviously, you know that because there's crazy things happening all the time. Some of it's good, some of it's not so good, right? But we have the opportunity to take what happens to us and use that in a positive way, happening for us. And I think that's so good. Also, the authenticity part. I think, so many people trying to be somebody they're not. They're looking at all the things that people are doing and people that they look up to, and that's good. It's good to emulate good things in life, but you got to be yourself and do it in your way. And I think that authenticity piece is so important, right?
Yes, and you lose that. So it's not wrong somehow, but also there is an amazing book. I don't know if you know that. It's called The Presence Process by Michael Brown.
Uh-huh.
And in that book, he speaks about 3 different layers that you have to do. So the first layer is the emotional layer, and that is really built for you in the first 7 years of your existence. So this is the only way how you can communicate, how you can express yourself. So you build that emotional layer. And then at the age of 7, this is when then the culture kicks in, and also education kicks in. And this is when the mind layer is formed. And if you continue further then on the scale with 14, 7 years later, this is then when the last layer comes, and this is the physical layer, because you're in puberty, you become an adult, and that goes then till 21. And your goal in life is to bring all those 3 layers together, because when you're 21, mainly you're dominated by your mind layer and your physical layer. And the emotion layer is pushed back, and it might be pushed back by childhood trauma that you suffered, other incidences that happened in life, right? So, and those kind of things, they take you all back and away from your authentic self. And most of the people, they just recognize who they truly are, and then they regret when it might be quite late in their life. So I can only urge and encourage everybody to start as early as possible with reflecting. Why do things happen? So things never happen to you. It is really, in every pain is a lesson. And I truly believe that everything that happens to you or that happens is something which has it has something in there which you can learn from, and which can bring you on a higher level of consciousness.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Well, and I love that, life is full of lessons. Life is the best teacher. And so you're talking about that when people come to you and they're struggling, right? They're struggling, to find where they're at and really live their authentic, true life, their purpose-driven life, as I would say, where do you start with them? How do you kind of reel them in?
Yeah, I mean, the best is to have a conversation, right? Have an open and transparent conversation. Right. And sometimes I also need to share some stuff, because I think, you also say sharing is caring, but on the other hand, if you are open, it is easier for others to be open, right? So I not see myself as sitting there like a teacher, but it's more like trying to connect with people on a personal level, and maybe help them to reflect. I mean, there are dozens of questions that you can ask. And sometimes even I prepare, especially if I do those video portraits of people, I have a little questionnaire which I sent to them earlier. And I give them a couple of days time to really reflect on those questions. And then most of the time when you read that, when people send it back to you and you read that, you already know where you can dig deeper, because most of the time you're just not aware. You're just not aware of all those things. And this is not, it's not, let's say, it's not that the people don't want to share that. It's actually just, it's their own missing link in their own personal puzzle. So they don't really know why that happened. They quite often victimize them, especially it's about negative experiences. I mean, everybody shares happily positive experiences, and I think you need to have a balance, because the negative are the ones that bring you further, and that really also show why you act as you act, or why you have the specific patterns in your behavior. And that takes some work. So this is nothing which is done in one session, but it's more why I really like then that I had a chance in the last year, not just to extend my coaching capabilities, but also educate myself with Paul McKenna, who is one of the most known hypnotherapists in the world. So I did a program to become a hypnotherapist, so that I can use those tactics to really help people to go through their pain, or go to the areas where they are hurt, and help them then to come out of that stronger.
Yeah. Well, I like what you're saying there. You're really talking about, like you started off with, it's all about a conversation. It's all about exploring. It's about that curiosity thing. I have friends that would say it's all about curiosity and learning more about people, and then being able to open up those areas, like you said, that maybe those are areas that are holding them back, needing to work on, right? Things that are causing those roadblocks or challenges, and then pushing through those. And I'm assuming that through your coaching program, you have a 12-step program. I don't know. I'm just kidding. But you have a way then to take them beyond where they're at, right?
Yeah, I have a 3-step program. So actually, I call it the authentic code, because I think these are 3 steps that you need to manage. So first of all is like uncode your values. So really uncode who you are as a person, and then recode your legacy. So no, sorry, encode your legacy. So really, where do you want to be, or where do you want to get in your life? And then the last, and this is probably the hardest part of that program, is more like now recode your narrative. So how do you change your narrative in order to go there? Because when you have all those wrong sayings to yourself, I'm not good enough, I can't achieve that, or I always fail there, and this is something, I mean, you block yourself, right? So this is the hardest part.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so give us a little bit more information about Mike in Switzerland. What do you love about Switzerland? I just want to hear a little bit about that. I mean, everybody likes to learn a little bit about the person. So you're married, you got a couple kids, they're growing up, you live in Switzerland, but you weren't from Switzerland originally, right?
No, I'm originally from Germany, as you might hear on my accent. But I traveled around in the world quite a lot. So I worked 2 years in Spain on the beautiful island of Ibiza. Then I went back to Germany for my studies. After that, I still worked a couple of years in Germany, but then I moved with my family to the Netherlands and lived in The Hague and Amsterdam. And from there, I came to Switzerland, and this was 12 years ago. Actually, today, 12 years ago, I arrived in Switzerland, and it's the longest time where I actually stayed in a country, except from my childhood in Germany. But this was definitely one of the longest areas. Yeah, and before that, during my studies, I also was almost a year in Indonesia, living on Bali, which is also not a bad place to be. So I see myself more as somebody who's very in exploring new cultures, new countries, locations. Have been in the US quite often, especially with my film stuff. So I shot a film in LA in 2013, which we crowdfunded and which won a lot of awards. But so yeah, I see myself as a global citizen and just live there where. So this is also a nice saying. So home is where your heart is. So I don't consider Germany my home. At the moment I consider Switzerland my home. I'm applying at the moment to become a Swiss citizen. But Switzerland is a beautiful country. I mean, it's in the central of Europe. You have a very high quality of life, and within our flight, you are almost everywhere in Europe. So it's awesome.
Yeah. Well, and I love that you said, home is where your heart is. And I really love that because it is. And you've got an adventurous spirit, obviously. And so, obviously you probably settled in and are liking the fact that your kids are growing up in a situation that's probably good for them. But who knows down the road, right? Who knows what other country you'll end up in?
Yeah, totally. Because also my daughter, she was on an exchange year in the US 2 years ago, before she started now with her apprenticeship. But she loved it. I mean, she had a very hard time to come back after that, because she really loved the school system in the US, and she enjoyed life there, and she made a lot of friends. I mean, it's totally different than in Europe, the school system, because life happens at school and you have so many activities around that. And in Europe, you go to school, and after school, you go home, right? And you have to find your activities. So that is something that was very interesting. But I also try to keep my kids open-minded. I mean, it's easy for us because we are a very international family. My wife is from Indonesia, and and my kids, yeah, I mean, they relocate all the time with us. So my daughter was born in Germany, my son was born in the Netherlands, so they're used to that.
Yeah, that's awesome. That really is. That's so cool to be able to, I am a firm believer in a certain amount of consistency for my kids. And so as they were growing up, I liked the fact that I kept them in the same schools and all that. But, there's a whole nother thing where when they move, they have to have the strength and the fortitude to start over and to meet new friends, and they develop life skills through that. We all get that. Sometimes it takes till you get to college, and but every time you change schools, even if it's from elementary school to middle school to high school, you're kind of going into a new environment, and there's a lot of good things about that. So, well, listen, okay, so I want to get back to the fact that you're able to connect with people and to really, really hone in on their authenticity and things that are about them that are going to help them. Give us your final wrap up thoughts and your gold nugget of the day as to what is the most crucial thing that people need to be thinking about intentionally and the direction they need to be moving to get where you want to help them go.
I mean, usually I usually ask just one question to my people, and that is a very simple one, because it's I just ask, how do you want to be remembered? I mean, the two of us, we had a chance to participate in the same book when we thought about what is our legacy, right? So
yes,
and I think this is for me one of the crucial things, because it starts there. So how do you want to be remembered? I mean, our life here is quite short, and do you want to be remembered as the one who was always in the office, the first who comes and the last who goes? Or do you want to be remembered as the person that you truly are? So, and if you start from there, I think it really helps to connect with people and bring them in such a direction to really start reflecting their own journey and help them to continue on that path, and probably even make some decisions. Like, as you said in the beginning, you are on the steering wheel. You can make those decisions, but make those decisions in a conscious manner, and not because you feel forced to make a decision, because then that decision doesn't really value and it's not for your own good.
Yeah. Well, and I love that you talked about legacy, and I thought that I had a graphic that I was going to put up, but yeah, I love the book that we worked on together, and really, it is so. Do you? Oh, there you go.
I have
It is. It is so important, your legacy and all that you leave behind, and that's what I love about books and writing, and even the live streams that sit here forever. I love that stuff, and that's one thing I want to remind everybody. This amazing show, I know that everybody can't watch live, and so I want you to remember, share this with your friends, because they can watch it on the mediums we broadcast on: LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook, for infinity and beyond, because it sits there forever, right? And so I don't want you to forget that. Share, continue. If you're watching this on replay, please put hashtag team replay. Please share. Please give us your comments. We love that. And talking about legacy is so important. And I'm telling you, if you have not got a copy of A Note to My Family, I'm Your Legacy, you need to do that, because it is it's just a great opportunity for you to think about your legacy, right, Mike?
Totally. I mean, books is a good thing, definitely, and I love that we had a chance to work on that together.
Yeah.
I tried to add something to that, so this is also why I said okay, or why I uploaded that little. I need to show in that direction. Why I uploaded that picture, because when I said I do video portraits of people, by doing that, so I really want to showcase that. And one of the chance by doing video is also, and you do it in your podcast by actually speaking to people. We live in a time where less and less people will read. We live in a time where many people consume even snippets somewhere. And when I founded Create Eternal Echo, my company, last year, this was one of the key thoughts. I just felt, how would it be if you, for instance, have a video document of a loved person who really shows who they truly are, and instead of just walking over a graveyard or cemetery, that is usually a not marketable place. How cool would it be if you can just pass by and you see on the headstones little QR codes and you get the messages and the stories or the wisdom of those people? So you don't need the 90 minutes movie there, but I can take out all those little snippets of what people really say, what really matters to them, and make them accessible so that they maybe can inspire others with that. And this is then a way how you can transform those sad and quiet place like a cemetery into a beautiful, inspiring museum of wisdom, collective wisdom of people. And yeah, and that's what I do, and I love that, and I love to connect with people on that at the moment, because it's just so amazing to really see what people all of a sudden tell me. And these are usually stories which they don't share with their family. So just a quick note, I just recorded a couple of weeks ago a story of an elder woman, and she was diagnosed with dementia. And her daughter contacted me and wanted to record that, and wanted to get, let's say, authentic view or portrait of her mother before she might forget everything. And she told me in one of those first conversations that her mother always sang a song for her when she was scared as a child or something like that. So we had that video shoot, and I asked that lady about that song. And she said, "Oh, should I sing it?" And I said, "Yes, of course." So she sang that song in front of the camera. And after that, when we did the full editing, I just took that little snippet of that song, hosted it online on a private link, and I created a QR code that goes to that link. And then I just placed that QR code on a keychain and gave that to that lady who booked that with me. So this was not part of the deal, but I just love to try to do that. And I still get goosebumps when I talk about that, because she was fully in tears. And now she can listen to that song of her mother in video every time when she just pulls that keychain out of her pocket and scans it with her phone. So, and I think this is the way how you can keep all those memories of who people truly are alive. And I also love books, so don't forget that. And I told you the last time that my wife also suffered or had a diagnosis 6 years ago of lung cancer. And the doctors told us that she might have 3 to 6 months to live. She's still here. And she wrote a book, which is also on Amazon now, and it's called My Best Friend Cancer. So it's her story and what she learned. And she treated cancer as a teacher and not as something that she needs to fight because the thing is, your body give you signals, and I truly believe that the silver bullet is not trying to just take all medications to kill everything that might be bad for you, because in everything that is bad is also maybe sometimes something positive.
Right.
And she was my teacher, because I wouldn't be where I am now if she wouldn't have that disease. So cancer was not just for her teacher, but also for me, because at that moment you're put in a situation that is a roller coaster. It's an emotional roller coaster.
Right.
It's painful. But in everything which is painful, there is a lesson, and you go out of that situation better than before.
Right.
It's always the case. So if I can give to the audience, that is what I would love to give to them.
Definitely. That is so amazing. And, that's, of course, close to my heart. My mom died of Alzheimer's, and so dealt with that for years. My dad died of cancer, and then I was diagnosed and went through a cancer journey the last couple of years. And so those kind of things really make you stop and take a look at life. And you talk about that picture of you the picture of the person in the graveyard and the collective wisdom of all the people there. I love that because, yes, there's so much to learn. We go back to what we talked about earlier, lessons in life. Life happens for you, not to you. And that's so important to remember. So, hey, Mike, I appreciate you so much. Give everybody a quick snippet. How do they get in touch with you?
Best is via LinkedIn. So I'm always on LinkedIn. So that is the easiest thing. Thanks for putting the website in as well. So this is where you can get me via the website. Russ, you should also come to my podcast. So I have also 2 podcasts that I'm running. One is in English. It's called Bold and Bold. So bold with bold ideas. And it would be great to have you there on that the next time as well. Would be amazing.
Awesome. Well, listen, everybody, I tell you, you need to go back and watch this again. Share this with your friends. Mike, it's been amazing. This conversation between you and I will continue because, as I told you when we met, I'm a lifetime connector, so you're stuck with me as your friend anyway. So I look forward to our next conversation. But for now, we're going to wrap it up, and I'm going to send you to the green room. Hang tight for just a second as I wrap up the show, and I'll be right there. Thank you. Okay, there you go. I cut him off right in the middle of thank you. So Mike says thank you to everybody. And so anyway, oh my goodness. You know what? Wow. It just really touches my heart what he was talking about at the end. And there's so much to learn in this life. And there's so much inspiration to gain. There's so much wisdom to gain in life, right? And so I want to, as your inspiration specialist, I want to be here today to remind you to be all that you can be, to take that wisdom, that collective wisdom we talked about, those life lessons, move forward, do amazing things. And don't forget to share out the information from today for this show, for the marketing tip of the day, for everything going on, because there is so much we can learn from each other. We are definitely better together. I am blessed on this show with amazing people like Mike that are full of so much wisdom and so much insight that I don't think of as much as maybe I should. And so that's good for all of us. So thank you for being here. Remember, we're here every Monday and Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time for your viewing and listening pleasure. Get that out. Because why? Not only does this go live and you can watch live stream and comment, which we love you to do, but it also stays on there as a video podcast on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube, and then becomes an audio podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, whatever your favorite platform is for that. We're here every Monday and Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and love to have you join us again. And if you miss this, please go back and watch it, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel at marketingwithruss.live, marketingwithruss.live. Would love for you to do that today as well. And until we see you again, I just want to tell you all have a blessed day, a blessed life. We'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody. See ya.
Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. Be sure to subscribe in your favorite podcast app so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an amazing day.